Hello everyone, my name is Andrea Carolina Suarez Arango. I am a student of the Bachelor's Degree program in Foreign Languages with emphasis in English at UNAD University, and today I'm going to talk about everything related to the course of Foreign Language Acquisition and Learning. First, I'm going to talk about the course agenda, which tell us that we have two units. The first unit is about foreign language acquisition from the theory to the practice, and the second unit is about learning trends in foreign language. In the agenda, we also find the different activities according to the phase. In the phase 1, recognition activity has an activity record a video with a brief introduction of the course and the main information about the pedagogical practice. Phase 2, participant observation practice, has an activity examining the factors that influence the process of foreign language acquisition and learning, methodical and in detail within the pedagogical practice scenarios. In the phase 3, in participant observation practice, has an activity compare the main theories of foreign language acquisition within context of the pedagogical practice scenario. And finally, in phase 5 final activity, set up a proposal related to the new assessment approaches in the classroom environment. Now, with respect to the syllabus, we have the course description. It requires 32 hours of practice. It's part of the path of the practice component of the program in the phase of participant observation. It's part of the specific disciplinary field of the program. It's a methodological course. It's closed with problems, registers in the disciplinary fields. And lastly, we have the learning outcomes, which are learning outcome 1. This review the characteristics of the course and the particularities of the pedagogical and educational practice process. And the learning outcome 2 examine the factors that influence the process of foreign language acquisition and learning, methodological and in detail within the pedagogical practice scenarios. Learning outcome 3 compare the main theories of foreign language acquisition with context of the pedagogical practice scenario. Learning outcome 4 evaluate teaching strategies used within the classroom based on the students' learning characteristics. And learning outcome 5 serve a proposal related to the new assessment approaches in the classroom environment. Now I'm going to talk about the characteristics and purpose of the course are as follows. Establish spaces for the preparation of the foreign language teaching. In participating observation practice in different learning environments through practical activities carried out for the students. And the learning strategy for the course is scenario-based learning. Then there are the guidelines for the development of pedagogical and educator practice are the normative reference. The first laws were the law theory 150 of 1994 until the last resolution 21,795 of November 19, 2020, and it established the parameters for self-evaluation and verification and evaluation of program and quality conditions, the principles of action, respect for difference, promotion of protective environments for children and adolescents, excellence in service, integrity of teaching pedagogical practice, and dialogue theory among educational actors. And now, related to ECETU, bachelor's degree programs, there are two types of programs. Programs with renew registrations, a bachelor's degree in ethno-education, bachelor's degree in philosophy, bachelor's degree in mathematics, and bachelor's degree in foreign languages with emphasis in English. And programs in transition, a bachelor's degree in early childhood pedagogical, and bachelor's degree in ethno-education, and bachelor's degree of markets. And now, related to pedagogical and educative practice route for LILEI, we have different aspects. Is natural and offer of the practice component course. This one has methodological course, relates theory practice for understanding, transferring and investigating knowledge in the disciplinary of professional fight in context and practical course. Promotes the mobilization of theories, concepts, and procedures in simulated or physical scenarios. And we also have the teacher training, where UNAD integrate students acquiring the competence of the teaching profession. We also have the practical component, which is its purpose is to acquire, generate, and strengthen the students' disciplinary and professional competence. And we also have the specific regulation for pedagogical and educative practice, and PEP, which are norms and guidelines of each school or program, which regulate and define the conditions and activities necessary for the exercise of pedagogical practice. And lastly, we have the pedagogical and educative practice, PEP, which comprises the disciplinary, pedagogical, and investigative components, and the social and cultural practice in which the teacher in training is immersed. Um, to finish with the guidelines for the development of pedagogical and educative practice, there are four other components that must be taken into consideration. The pre-practice seminar is a strategy of the School of Education to help the teachers in training to get ready administratively and to assign the practice scenario a previous period before starting the pedagogical and educative practice. And the pedagogical and educative practice route for LILEI, it has 4 course and 4 credits. And the simulator, it allows to release simulated pedagogical practice based on problem situations to strengthen training competence, and finally the ESAPEC. They accompany teachers of practice interact with a group of student interns through synchronous meetings during the observation and immersion stages. And to finish, complete the description of the course of foreign languages acquisition and learning. Um, I'm going I'm going to talk about the pedagogical and educative practice regulation agreement. I will start taking about each chapter with their respective articles. In chapter 1, definition and purpose, article 1, and definition article 2, purpose establish the conditions and provisions that guide the development of practical activities. And chapter 2, generalities and definitions, article 3, practical component, and the article 4, pedagogical and educative practice. In article 5, nature and offer of the practice component course. In the article 6, teacher in training, article 7, pedagogical and educative practice route. In the chapter 3, curricular aspects of the formatting route of pedagogical and educative practice, Article 8, prerequisites. In Article 9, course registered in Article 10, courses of the pedagogical and educative practice training route, Article 11. Article 11, homologation of the courses of the pedagogical and educative practice training route. In Article 12, work experience is not allowed as an accreditation course. In Article 13, activities in the practice scenario. In the chapter 4, we have principles of action of the training in teaching pedagogical and educative practice. In Article 14, principles of action of the training, teacher in pedagogical and educative practice. In chapter 5, we have a definition of the academic network of pedagogical and educative practice. In Article 15, we have actors in the academic network of pedagogical and educative practice. In the chapter 6, pre-practice seminar, Article 16, assignment of pedagogical and educative practice scenarios. In the Article 17, pre-practice seminar, we have the chapter 7, monitoring and evaluation of pedagogical and educative practice. In the Article 18, learning evaluation, and the Article 19, evaluation of pedagogical and educative practice. And Article 20, causes for failure of the pedagogical educative practice course. And the chapter 8, duties and rights of undergrad trainee teachers in the development of their pedagogical and educative practice. Article 21, duties of teachers in training, and the Article 22, rights of teachers in training. And the last, chapter 9, certification of pedagogical and educative practice, and the Article 23, practice scenarios must comply with current legal regulations, and Article 24, the regulation is effective from the date of its approval. And that's all. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.